I'm Aaron Baker from PhoneDog.com, and when you hear the names Double Dip and Double Dip Flip, you may think they're dance moves, but in reality, they are not dance moves. They are, actually, I don't know, they may be dance moves, but what they also are, they're names for HTC's newest cases for their HTC One devices. I've got the Double Dip and the Double Dip Flip in the office. They're HTC official. Let's take a look and see which one looks best on your HTC One. So you buy that $200 investment and you're thinking to yourself, how in the heck do I protect it? Well, first of all, if you're getting an HTC One, it's going to be half of an argument trying to get you to put a case on it because it's such a darn beautiful device. I mean, it's gorgeous looking. We've talked about it at length. The metal's fantastic. The glass is fantastic. But at the end of the day, I have a feeling quite a few of you are going to want to put stuff on your phone to protect it, and that's why HTC has two cases for you. One is the Double Dip. It sells for $29.99. This is the Double Dip Flip. It sells for $39.99. It kind of sounds like a dance. The Double Dip Flip, Double Dip, I don't know. Anyway, they sell for $29 and $39, and you're seeing an increasing trend in OEMs doing this. Samsung has done this for some time with their flip covers. HTC is picking up on the trend. You got a beautiful phone, they've got accessories, kind of want to keep it all in-house. Not to say that there's not a vibrant third-party accessory ecosystem, but still kind of nice to buy an HTC phone. It's kind of like when you buy a car and you want Toyota parts or Nissan parts instead of aftermarket parts. These are HTC-made cases, and I'm going to go over each one of these and talk about some of my favorite things and some of my not-so-favorite things about these two cases. First of all, the Double Dip case. What I like about this is it doesn't add a lot of bulk to the device, comparatively speaking, at least in comparison to this one. Love the way it works, love the way it feels, and we'll get over to the Double Dip Flip case in just a second. I really like saying that, Double Dip Flip. Anyway, we'll get over to this case in just a second, which you can see, much like the flip cover that Samsung provides, it is a little bit chunky when you pull it back like this, but that said, what you get is the ability to throw the phone into landscape mode as you see fit. But we'll talk about that in just a second. This one's a $29 one, and it comes apart at the top and at the bottom, and I'll show you how that works. You can slide the phone out pretty quickly and pretty easily. It's 3 pieces, and then right now, to my knowledge, this is the only color it comes in. I think there are going to be more colors in the future, but right now, to my understanding, it's just this red and gray color scheme. What I like about this, it's easy to get on, it's easy to get off, and it provides a nice case that protects the device but still keeps it kind of minimal in terms of the overall look and feel. You know, you throw this on, you don't really feel like it's being too obtrusive or taking away too much space on the device itself. It just kind of pops on and it takes care of everything. And then the HTC logo remains on the back. You've got areas for your ports here, cleaned up and ready to go. And then one of my favorite things, the volume buttons are darn hard to press, which is fantastic when you're a person like me and you're working out at the gym and you got it down in the cup holder and you move the phone around and it hits the volume buttons and the music goes to skyrocketing levels and you become deaf at an early age. Not a good thing. That's what I like about this case. I also like the $29 price point. It's expensive for some, but still for a case from a manufacturer, I think that's pretty reasonable, at least a decent price point. What I don't like about this, I think it's between the two at least, I think it's the least professional of the two. Not to say that it's not professional, not to say that people that wear suits and carry briefcases aren't going to use this, but what I don't like is a two-tone color. I'd love to see maybe just a gray and a gray option, or perhaps a black and a black option, or just red even. I think two-tone kind of gives it a feel of this kind of cartoonish look and feel. So that said, some people love that two-tone. Obviously people love it or HTC wouldn't have made it, based on marketing research. And then you've got this over here, the Double Dip Flip case. Now, it's $10 more. It's $39.99. But what I like about it is you can throw it quickly and easily into landscape mode, and you can leave it on your desk just like that. And you can watch movies without having to touch the phone. Another thing I really like about this case is it actually preserves the top. So you can see when you open this up, you're actually seeing some of the HTC One. Really, when you look at this case, you're not seeing any of the phone. You're seeing the glass, you're seeing the HTC logo, and that's it. You don't see the speakers. You don't see the beautiful metal back. You don't see the glass areas up top. All you see, or the sides even for that matter, all you see is the glass. Over here, at least you do get an idea of how the HTC One looks, and you can say, man, that's a gorgeous phone. And granted, it still covers the back, but you can still kind of see, hey, I got a really nice phone. So when you want to show it off to your friends, you can go to your friends and say, hey, I got a super hot phone, take a look at this, and you can flip it up without actually removing the case and kind of give them an idea as to what your phone looks like. That's a huge like about this. I really like the landscape option as well. A couple of things I don't like about this that I'm concerned, and obviously this is a concern, this may or may not be an issue. I have not tested this case at length enough to really give you an accurate indicator here. Notice that the noise cancellation thing here in the back is right here. I'm kind of wondering when you hold it like this and you're up against a call, how well that's going to work when it's hidden behind a couple of layers of a case, whereas over here, it's automatically removed and there's nothing blocking it. So when you're on the phone, your ear's up to the phone, it's nothing blocking it, whereas with this, you do have a little bit blocking the case. Another thing, obviously, the sides are uncovered, so if you drop this and happen to hit a rock, hit something on the side, you're going to be out of luck. And same thing kind of over here. If it were open and you dropped it face down, that could be an issue. Also, love the way this case works, again, in terms of the landscape. What I don't like is, typically like with the Note, with the cover on top, the flip cover, notice that there's no flipping back and forth. So when I hold the phone, I hold it in my hand like this. I'm not flipping the cover back and forth. I'm finding a minor issue with this one. It may not be big for a lot of people, and honestly, for those people that are right-handed and usually hold their phone with their left hand, it's going to be less of an issue. But notice how I'm holding it like this, and it's fine. But when I hold with my hand, because I'm a left-handed person, I'm grabbing right here. And so I found myself a couple times when I was testing it up against my ear, I'm inadvertently doing this, and it's flipping the phone out. Again, not a major thing by any stretch of the imagination, and that's why HTC makes 2 cases. But if that's something that bothers you, you may want to take a look at this in store if you can, because I found a couple of times I was holding it, and before I knew it, I was kind of flipping it right here, putting my fingers too close right there, and it all of a sudden kind of pops out of your hand like it's a little jumping bean. So, a jumping bean. Sounds kind of interesting. A jumping bean. But otherwise, love the fact that you can throw it down like this, literally and figuratively. You can throw it down with your HTC One. Like that fact, and then I also like the fact that it, again, shows off the front of the device. Another minor problem is, notice how with this one it does have to bend like this. So when you're bending, you're in essence creasing it right here. So take a look, for example, I'm holding it up inside, I'm creasing it back right here. What that's doing is it's recreating the crease right here. So when I hold it up against my ear and I flip it back, I just think there's a lot of flipping action going here, whereas on something like, again, comparing Samsung's cases to HTC's cases, this, it stays flipped back. There's no other movement. So when it's flipped back, it's flipped back. When it's forward, it's forward. But I think in terms of kind of muscle memory, if you will, it's kind of creating a confusing message for the case when it's like this, and then it's like this, because it's basically just telling it to do the reverse over and over again. So you may put it down on the desk like this and think to yourself, man, why is it sitting like that? Or, it's not wanting to open up all the way. Again, just a minor thing, but something I noticed while working with it. Honestly, for me on day-to-day use, it's a tough call. I like this case more, but I like the color scheme of this case more, and the fact that it opens it up and holds it like this. Probably long-term, I would carry this case just because I like the professional look and feel. Love the HTC logo on the front. Looks great all around. But again, $29, $39, and you can get yourself an HTC-branded official HTC One case. Keep it locked on PhoneDog.com for continuing coverage of both of these cases. Hit me up on Twitter, PhoneDog_Aaron, Facebook, Facebook.com/Hi Aaron Baker. Let me know what you think of HTC's case solutions. I'll be back very soon with more HTC One coverage, so keep it locked on the site. And as always, I'll see you next time.